If I were to meet you at a dinner party, I would probably walk away thinking you are the most charismatic person I've ever met. You have this incredible ability to make people feel special. You lean in, you ask the right questions, you remember the small details. My project at work, my sick cat, my anxieties about the future. You are the therapist friend, the wise one. But if at the end of the night, someone were to turn to me and ask, "So who is he? What is he afraid of? What keeps him up at night?" I would freeze. I would realize I know absolutely nothing about you. You are a master of the deflection. It's a dance you've perfected. Someone asks you, "How have you been?" And you reply almost automatically, "Oh, busy. Work is crazy. But hey, I saw your photos from Italy. Tell me about the trip." And just like that, whoosh, you vanish. You turn the spotlight back onto them. You collect everyone's secrets, but you guard yours like state secrets. It feels safe to be the listener. It feels noble. But let's be real for a second. It is incredibly lonely behind that one-way mirror. You are visible to everyone, yet known by no one. People often mistake this behavior for humility. They think you're just low maintenance or mysterious. You might even tell yourself that you just don't like to complain. But I want to offer you a different perspective. This isn't about humility. This is about control. By not talking about yourself, you are tightly controlling the narrative. Think about it. Information is ammunition. If you give people zero data about your internal life, they have nothing to judge. They have nothing to reject. They can't use your vulnerabilities against you if you never show them where the soft spots are. You aren't hiding because you think you're boring. You're hiding because deep down, you believe that being seen equals being unsafe. You are protecting yourself from the potential shame of being misunderstood. Let's look at the mechanics of this. Why is it so hard to open up? In psychology, we call this self-concealment, and for you, the wiring of your brain's reward system is a bit inverted. For the average person, self-disclosure, talking about oneself, triggers the mesolimbic dopamine system. It lights up the same pleasure centers as eating chocolate or winning money. Humans are wired to find pleasure in sharing their inner world. But for you, self-disclosure doesn't trigger a reward. It triggers the amygdala, the brain's threat detection center. When the spotlight turns to you, your brain screams, "Danger, assess threat, retreat." Instead, you get your dopamine hit from safety. You feel good when you are the observer, when you know everything about them and they know nothing about you. You have created an information asymmetry. In a biological sense, you are the predator in the tall grass, watching, unseen. It's a power dynamic. It's a way to ensure you can never be caught off guard. To visualize this, imagine you are the curator of a beautiful museum. You spend your entire life guiding guests through the exhibits. You shine the light on their paintings. You dust off their statues. You explain the history of their lives with such care and empathy. But you live in the archives, in the basement. There are no windows down there, just stacks of files and boxes. You believe that if you invite the guests down into your basement, into your messy, uncurated, chaotic reality, they will be disappointed. They will see the dust. They will see the cracks in the walls. You think they only love the museum, not the curator. So you stay downstairs, you send up polite notes, you maintain the facade, you think you're being professional. But the truth is, you are denying people the only thing they actually want, you. You are trapping yourself in the basement of your own life, waiting for permission to come out. Where did this come from? This is rarely a personality trait. It is almost always an adaptation. This behavior often stems from what we call parentification, or simply growing up in a home where there wasn't enough emotional space for you. Maybe you had a parent who was the main character, narcissistic, volatile, or just very needy. In that environment, a child learns that having needs is a liability. If you talked about yourself, maybe you were ignored. Or worse, maybe you were told you were being selfish. So you adapted. You learned the gray rock method. You learned to blend in. You learned that to be loved, or at least to be safe, you had to be a mirror. You had to reflect their needs, their moods, their stories. You learned a transactional lie. I am valuable when I listen. I am a burden when I speak. So how do we unlock the basement door? The answer is not to go out tomorrow and dump your childhood trauma on the barista. That's too much. Your nervous system will revolt. We need to practice micro-vulnerability. Low stakes, small risks. The next time a friend asks, "How are you?" fight the reflex to say, "Fine." Instead, give them 5% of the truth. Say, "I'm actually feeling a little drained today," or "I'm a bit worried about this project." That's it. Stop there. And then observe. Watch their reaction. You will see that they don't attack you. They don't leave. In fact, you might see their shoulders drop. You might see them lean in. Because vulnerability is contagious. When you lower your shield, you give them permission to lower theirs. True connection is not a service you provide to others. It is an exchange. You have carried the weight of everyone else's stories for a long time. It is time to let someone else carry a little bit of yours. You deserve to be known.